Today, I'm going to tell you why we need to kiss more. At work, on television, in life in general. I'm going to show you how, and when we go our separate ways, you are going to kiss with other people more than you've ever done before. Now, for those of you that are getting excited that this is going to be a session in making out, I'm sorry. Today is strictly business. We're here at TED, and the purpose of TED is to promote ideas worth spreading about using our mouths and our words to inspire. And in order to do this, we need to be understood. We are currently struggling with a void of understanding in finance. I challenge you to fill this void by being understandable. Don't use your words to build barriers to hide behind, but to build bridges to connect to people. So let me begin by introducing myself. Here are a few things that people say about me. Most popular businesswoman on Twitter, among the savviest on Wall Street, an advisor to boards, a quantum physicist by background, and on television I'm looked to clarify complex situations as they unfold. I am all of these things, but it wasn't always the case, and I'm here because I want you to learn from my mistakes, learn what I did wrong and how I turned things around. So let's go back to the beginning. My first ever television appearance. I was so excited. I spent weeks preparing. I read so many reports and wrote so many notes that my table looked like I was building a fort out of paper. And I went with all these notes, and I went on TV, I went into the studio, and I was ready. I discussed QE, PMIs, GDP, cyclical indicators, structural changes, all these complex business terms. I was really proud of myself. I covered all these topics. I was on for half an hour, and I walked off set, very pleased with myself. Anyway, the next day, shows how long ago it was, the next day the clip comes online, and I promote it. I post it on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and I wait. I'm eagerly waiting for these responses. And I wait. Okay, and I wait. Anyway, finally, I get a response. It was from my mum telling me that she thought my hair looked nice. That was it. I mean, it was a complete waste of time. I could have just gone to the hairdresser. All that work for nothing. So, what did I do wrong? I thought just about myself. It was all about me. The reason is I was petrified. It was my first time on television. It was a big deal. I was scared. It was incredibly intimidating. I was nervous. All I actually wanted to do was hide. I just wanted to sound like I fitted in. And I actually didn't want to be clear. I didn't want people to understand what I was saying. Because I thought if they understood what I was saying, they'd see massive holes in my argument. They'd point that out. I'd be open to criticism. And they'd point out how undeserving I was to be there. So instead, I hid. I hid behind acronyms. I hid behind overused business terms. And it was a complete waste of time. Let's fast forward a few years. My latest television hit, which actually was just this week. What did I do differently? Well, instead of weeks to prepare, I actually only spent hours. And instead of being on for half an hour, I was actually on for less than 5 minutes. I was cut off by breaking news. But in that time, this is what I did. I was asked, what's going on in the markets at the moment? And what was going on is that people have missed out on making money. So they're chasing returns. They're desperately scrambling. They're looking for ways to earn magnified returns to try and catch up. And what did I do with my time on air? I broke this down. And I said, it's like chasing a car that is speeding away from you. In order to catch it, you need to travel faster. That's what it is. You're looking at the opportunity to gain magnified returns, but that also means you've got an opportunity to magnify your losses. It's risky. You need to be careful. You need to stop investing indiscriminately and be selective. That was it. And I walked off set. And before I'd even got back to the green room, looked down at my phone, and the results were already in. The responses were already in. I didn't even need to post my views. I didn't need to post a link. I didn't need to post my words. People were posting my words for me. I'd engaged thousands of people, and they had then engaged thousands themselves. Powerful stuff. Very clear, very concise. And included in that group of people were actually people that aren't even in finance. And best of all, I engaged enough people for my hair to be given its own Twitter account. So my mother was still very happy. So what did I do differently? I took my ego out. Instead, I thought less about myself. I thought more about other people. What did they want to hear? What do they want to hear? They wanted to know what the hell was going on. And what was going on is that people had been missing out on returns. Why did it matter? Because if they were trying to catch up, they were putting their money at risk. And how could they do something about it? By being careful and by being more selective. I also thought, how can I engage them as effectively as possible? How did they want to hear this story? I made it relatable. I used analogies and I broke it down. I tried to find something, an everyday occurrence in everyday lives that mirrored what I was trying to talk about. And the way to do that is by breaking down what you want to say into its most raw form, chasing something that is running away from you. Now, I use the analogy of cars, but how many here have tried to chase somebody running down the road? You see a friend the other side of the road, you try and chase after them. You have to travel faster than them to catch them up. That was it. So why is this so important? Because this is how we can engage other people. We engage other people with information and with knowledge. And we fill this void that a lack of understanding has left behind. Instead of using our words to hide, it's actually using our words to build barriers. And we in finance are some of the worst culprits of this. We use our language to either hide or to try and just make ourselves sound smarter. And it's backfiring. What we're doing is we're alienating other people. We're cutting ourselves off from the rest of the world. It's leaving us isolated and open to criticism and open to attack. Instead, I challenge you to be understandable. Think less about yourselves, think more about other people. What do they want to hear? Dig deeper. How do they want to hear it? Make it relatable. Don't use your words to build barriers to hide behind, but instead to build bridges to connect to other people. Now, I said at the beginning of this talk that I was going to tell you why we need to kiss more. And we do. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Thank you very much.